Hey there. I want to talk about gangs in federal prison, especially the Mexican gangs. And I didn't think it'd be right to talk about that without a prison sweatshirt on. So there's been a lot in the news about gang members being transported back to their country stuff, and a lot of talk about MS-13 members. I was with a lot of the MS-13 gang members, and I can honestly say when it comes to people on a compound, I would rather be around them than a lot of other people. If you aren't messed up into stupid stuff, and if you're a stand up guy, they are some of the most respectful people that I've ever been around in the prison system. They always honor their word, they always pay their bills, their people pays their bills. Now, I've never been to the penitentiary, but I've spent a lot of time in mediums and a lot of time in lows, and there's been a lot of Mexican gangs, even in a couple of the lows I was at, especially Beaumont, Texas. That's basically ran like a medium to where you have gangs in there, or cars as they call them. And I think it's a good idea because you can calm down a lot of stuff by going out to the yard and talking about stuff. But I've been around MS-13s, Serranos, Tango Blast, Paisas, Latin Kings, all of them. And I get along with everybody. Now, usually if something goes down, if it's a race war or a race riot or something, the Mexicans and the Hispanics always run with the white guys. At FCI Beckley I was at, we had phone lines to where they had the gang phones, and then they had the black cars like the DC phone and stuff like that. And then we had a white phone, and all the Mexican guys on the unit would use our white phone. Now, I was also in prison when they had the MS-13 Serrano incident to where they locked down the entire BOP. They actually moved a couple of the MS-13s off of the compound I was at. But then a year later, they started to make that compound strictly for the MS-13s. So they moved them all back to Beckley, which was okay because, as I said, they were very respectable. The prisons I was at, the Paisas were the gang that were basically trouble because they accepted everybody. They didn't check paperwork. They would allow sex offenders in, snitches, everything. So that's my take.